Hello, and welcome to the weekly energy update for the week of May 26, 2024. I'm Renee Spears, a spirit guide channeler and spiritual mentor, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Bozeman, Montana. Every Sunday, I share the energy for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you get a little positive energy boost just for listening. Of all the 300 plus podcasts I've done over the past 5 years, this one has been the most difficult. Not because there's something horrible to talk about, but because my energy just hasn't been into it. I've sat down so many times over this past week to work on the podcast, and it's been torture. Instead, I've gone out to meals with girlfriends. I explored Livingston, which is a cute little town here, and went with my friend Mona. Taken Jasper on lots of hikes. It snowed here one day last week, and I loved it because I just sat in front of the fire all day watching Bridgerton. And of course, I try to justify why I'm feeling this way. Maybe it's because I was feeling a little bit sick. Maybe it's because my big birthday is coming up and I'm more introspective lately. Maybe it's because it's Memorial Day weekend. Maybe I'm just lazy and not pushing myself hard enough. And then this morning it finally hit me. Duh! It's the move of Jupiter into Gemini. So yesterday, Jupiter moved into Gemini for the next year. This is a big shift from Jupiter and Taurus where it's been for the last year. Jupiter is a planet of abundance and growth, and Gemini is lighthearted, fun, playful, and it wants to hang out with friends and family. And since Jupiter makes everything bigger, it's amplifying all this Gemini energy. So no wonder I don't want to work and I just want to have fun. So instead of fighting it, let's embrace it, especially this weekend and for the rest of May. The month ends on a high note with an abundance of laughter, enjoyment, and time to enjoy being with our people. Jupiter will be in Gemini for the next year, so we might as well ease our way into this lovely energy. There's plenty of time to focus on the other areas that Gemini rules, like travel, communication, and media. All these industries will change this year. On a personal level, Jupiter in Gemini asks us to examine our communication style and how we've been expressing ourselves to others. We may have to confront where we haven't been honest or where we haven't been authentic. We'll feel more drawn to writing, teaching, and sharing our stories. This is the year you write the book or you start your podcast or your YouTube channel. Jupiter in Gemini will help our voice to be heard. On deeper levels, Jupiter in Gemini also helps us to create more of a bridge between our human selves and our soul selves, our spiritual selves. We're in Gemini season now. The Gemini twins are a symbol of the balance between the material world and the spiritual world, as one twin is mortal and the other is immortal. The balance of our human world and our spiritual world is one that we're always trying to figure out. When I think of balance in life, this is the balance I think of. We all need to have our basic human needs taken care of. Shelter, food, being able to take care of our physical bodies. And often when we start on our spiritual journey, we spend a lot more time focusing on the magic and the synchronicity of life because it just feels so good. We want to spend more time there. So this dance between the all-knowing spiritual self and the material self that just wants to survive is a constant balancing act. And Gemini helps us get into greater balance and honor both sides of our being. And how well we can balance the two will determine how well we can flow with the energies of the next year while Jupiter is in Gemini. This is the year we can figure out how to incorporate spirituality into our human lives. Now, a couple things to mention about Jupiter and Gemini. FOMO is especially strong this year. We'll want to do all the things. So don't overextend yourself, just pace yourself. There's an abundance of Gemini energy that can be anxiety-inducing if you overdo it. Mobile gadgets are also Gemini's domain, and with more is more Jupiter here, it'll be harder to put our phones down. It's going to take an extra effort to get off the phone this year. And as we're thinking about balancing our human and our spiritual sides, the phone is definitely not helping. About a month ago, I was hiking with Jasper and thought this would be a great time to post about my wonderful life on Instagram. It was a beautiful day. Flowers were blooming. I saw some deer. It was gorgeous. And instead of being in the moment and enjoying it all, I was on my phone trying to get some pictures for Instagram. Like, what the fuck? This isn't how I want to experience my life. How can I talk about being present and living in the flow if I'm not doing it? But perhaps the most important reminder of this transit is the importance of in real life conversation. I am sure you've heard about the loneliness epidemic we're experiencing. Half of Americans report feeling lonely. And loneliness is more than a bad feeling. It also increases our risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, and premature death. The impact of being socially disconnected is similar to that caused by smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Shocking. So Gemini loves being social and getting together with people and just hanging out talking. So we can use this energy to get back out there and meet friends for coffee, to co-work, to set up a book club, or get together for a women's wisdom circle. I offer private circles if you want to do one with your friends, and I'll put a link in the show notes for more info. It's important this year to put down the phone and go hang out with live humans. One more quick thing to mention about this week. From May 28th to the 30th, which is Tuesday to Thursday, the Aldebaran Silver Gate portal opens. Aldebaran is one of the 4 royal stars, and it's considered sacred by many of the ancient cultures. So when the sun aligns with the royal star Aldebaran, it activates a portal of high-frequency energy called the Silver Gate portal. Now, this portal beams down energy that activates our third eye chakra. Aldebaran is considered the star of enlightenment, and it allows us to download new and inspired ideas from the universe. So this energy helps us remember why we came here this lifetime and what the hell we're doing here. So if you've ever wanted to do a past life regression, an Akashic Records reading, or talk to your spirit guides, this is the time. You may also find yourself having dreams or intuitive downloads about your past lives and your soul contracts. So this is our chance to connect with our higher self and remember that every experience is for our highest good. Aldebaran's energy is so powerful, especially on a mental level, that we could find ourselves feeling a bit overwhelmed or anxious. The entire next year with Jupiter and Gemini, we could feel anxiety because of all the overthinking. If anxiety is already a thing for you, this is the time to take it seriously. It won't get any better this year unless you shift. So use this energy to do something about it once and for all. So to recap, if you don't feel like working right now, it's okay. It's not you, it's the energy. Sure, you can always push yourself and get it done, but instead, why not just enjoy this time and have fun and play games and have a barbecue and hang out with friends? And expect some insights this week about why you're here this lifetime. I did a reading recently, and the client got the reminder that there were trillions of souls wanting to incarnate during this time on Earth. And we get the honor of being here to experience it all. This is a powerful time to be on Earth. We can dread it or we can embrace it. And Jupiter and Gemini helps us embrace it. So as always, thank you for listening and passing the podcast on to a friend. Tomorrow is the Memorial Day Parade in Bozeman. I love parades, and Bozeman does parades right. There are so many parades here, and this is the start of parade season. So have a great week, everyone, and I'll talk to you again next week about the numerology and the astrology for June.